Hi everyone, welcome back to our daily Clues by Sam. It is Thursday and we have a tricky one. Yesterday we got a perfect one, so let's see how long this streak goes. You're welcome to play along. The link is in the description, and if you're new here, Clues by Sam is a game where there are 20 people on a board, and each of them is either a criminal or an innocent, and they might tell on themselves or on somebody else. The criminals don't lie, there's no guessing involved, and I'm gonna play and be explaining how I'm solving. So if you need any help or you get stuck or you don't know the mechanics, then hopefully I can help you. Let's start today's with Igor telling us that Kay is one of Frank's two instant neighbors. Okay, so Kay is an instant, and Frank has one more instant neighbor. So Frank has 5 neighbors total, 3 criminals, and one more instant. Now, we're gonna leave Igor's clue there to remind us of that. Kay says that only one of the 7 criminals on the edges is in row 2. So in row 2, there's Igor, who is on the edge and is an innocent. So that means that the other person on the edge in the same row has to be a criminal. So we can have somebody who is a criminal on the edge in row 2. That makes Frank a criminal. And now Frank says that 2 people in a corner have a criminal directly to the right of them. So this one we're used to seeing. There's 4 people on a corner. There's Austin, Donna, Uma, and Ziad. And 2 of those people have to have a criminal to their right. But 2 of those people don't have anybody to their right. Donna or Ziad, they don't have anybody to their right, so they couldn't be the people Frank's talking about. That makes Austin have a criminal to their right, and Uma have a criminal to her right as well. So we don't need Frank's clue anymore because it doesn't tell us about anybody else. And now we have 3 criminals on the edges. Bruce says that column B is the only column with exactly 4 criminals. So far we have 2 criminals in that column. We need 2 more, and there's only 2 people left, Gunny and Phil, so those 2 have to be criminals as well. And when we look at other columns, we're going to be reminded of that. Gunny says that both criminals in row 5 are connected. So since Vance is in row 5 and he's a criminal, somebody who is connected to him has to be the second and last criminal in that row, and that makes Ziad, who's not connected to Vance, an innocent. Now we don't need Gunny's clue anymore because we have tagged Uma and Wanda. And Phil says that exactly 2 innocents in column D are neighboring Luigi. Where's Luigi? Luigi has 3 people in column D neighboring him, Igor, Mary, and Tina, and either Mary or Tina are gonna be the second and last innocent to neighbor Luigi in that column. So we tag them with the orange. And we don't get any new information from that clue because even though there's a criminal here, it could be that Donna is a criminal that wouldn't interfere with column B being the only column with 4. So we don't need that clue anymore. Vince says there's an equal number of innocents in rows 2 and 4. Innocents. So we know how many innocents is in row 2, do we? Hall could be an innocent as well. See, it says that all criminals in column A are connected. So we're talking about criminals here. We know from K that there's 7 criminals on the edges. We do have 3 so far, but we're gonna have 2 more, one in column D and one in row 5. So that's 5. That means that we couldn't have 3 more criminals. Like, let's say that everybody in column B, everybody in row 1 is a criminal. If that's the case, we have 3 more criminals on the edges because everybody in row 1 is on the edge, and that goes to 8 criminals on the edge. So we can't have that happen. At least Donna would have to be an innocent. But what if Donna is a criminal and Austin is an innocent? And also, does it imply that oh, I haven't read Igor's clue. Okay, is one. This is the first clue actually. So we know that Frank has one more innocent neighbor who could be Austin, but it could be Joy. And both of these people are on the edge, right? But the thing is, Austin is in row one, so that's a problem for us. Because he could be a criminal. And in that case, he would count as a criminal both for row one and for column A. But the second thing we know from that is that there's two criminals now here in column A. Hmm. So now we have 6. Let's try to put it this way. We have 6 criminals on the edge that we know of, right? We have to get to a total of 7. So it's one more criminal. If that criminal is, could it be Olive? I mean, if it was Olive, then Uma couldn't be a criminal, but that doesn't really do anything for me. Oh, Ziad is talking about column and I'm looking at rows. So Ziad is talking about criminals in column A. Since we know that Frank's gonna have a criminal here, so now that helps. That helps. Why? Because let's make Olive a criminal. If Olive is a criminal, we know that Joy would have to be a criminal because all of the criminals in column A have to be connected, so Olive would have to be connected to Frank via a criminal. And now we have 3 criminals in column A. 3 criminals in column A. We couldn't have a fourth one, so Uma would have to be an innocent because if we have a fourth one, column B is gonna have another column equal to itself, which it can't. And mm, mm, we would have, I'm gonna have to count the criminals because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is what we know we had. Mary and Tina would give us one more, so that's 7, which would make Chloe and Donna innocents. So is there somebody talking about all the innocents in row 1 being connected? And that's why I was thinking about row 1? No, doesn't seem like it. Vance says there's an equal number of innocents in rows 2 and 4. So we're talking about row 4. That so far has 2 criminals, which row 2 also has. I guess should we try to make Olive? Let me try to make Joy an innocent. Because if I do, then both Olive and Uma have to be innocents. And what does that do for us in terms of the criminals on the edges? We would have 3 here, 4, 5, 6, yeah, and one more here in row 1. Oh, but then, yeah, it doesn't tell me anything about row 4 because it could be that both Sarah and Tina are innocents, or either of them. I feel like I'm missing something. Are we missing column C having 4 criminals? And do I have to put together all of these? Like, I don't need Igor School because I have the tags here. But I do need to put together Bruce School, K School, Vance School, and Seed School. So yeah, 4 clues we gotta put together. So that's a lot of stuff. Let us try something related to that. In this scenario, if there's only 2 criminals in column A, we need 1 more criminal in row 1, which would have to be Chloe. No, it wouldn't. Because we don't have anybody telling us that everybody in row 1 is connected who is a criminal. Or do we have and I dismissed the clue? No, we don't. So it doesn't matter. Two people in a corner have a criminal. Yeah. Column B is the only column with 4 criminals. And so far, row 4 needs a second criminal. It could be Sarah. It could be that Tina is an innocent and Sarah is a criminal, and then Hall would have to be an innocent as well. And then Luigi and Chloe could be opposites. What am I missing? I'm gonna look through them again because I feel like the answer is here. Column B is the only column with 4 criminals. Column A so far has 2 confirmed, so that's okay. One of the 7 criminals on the edges is in row 2, so there's 7 criminals on the edge, and so far we know about 6 of them. So only 1 more criminal on the edge. There's an equal number of innocents in rows 2 and 4. So there has to be 1 innocent in row 4. That's what we know of so far. All criminals in column A are connected. So let me go back to trying to make Olive a criminal, which would make Joy a criminal as well. And that is okay, but it would make Uma a criminal, an innocent, because we couldn't have 4 criminals in column A. So that works with these 3. And now we couldn't have Chloe or Donna be criminals because we have all our criminals on the edges, right? Now, row 4 has 2 criminals and row 2 has 2 criminals. So row 4 needs an innocent. If that innocent is Tina, it doesn't matter what Sarah or Hall are. If that innocent is Sarah, it also doesn't matter what Tina or Hall are. So I'm confused as to where I'm supposed to be looking at. I guess, should we ever try to make Uma a criminal? Because if we ever make her a criminal, then everybody above her is gonna have to be a criminal because they have to be connected to Frank. So Uma couldn't be a criminal because that would put 4 criminals in column A. So Uma has to be an innocent. It was easier than I was thinking. So that's actually good. Now Uma says that only 1 person in a corner has no innocent neighbors, and that person is Austin, because all of his neighbors are revealed and he is in a corner. So that makes Uma herself not able to have all criminals neighboring her, so Olive has to be an innocent. Now we know that Chloe and Donna are opposites actually, because we have to have 1 more criminal on the edge here. We also know that Ziad couldn't have both people here neighboring him in row 4 be criminals, because that would make him end up with all criminals and he's in a corner. So these people couldn't also be both innocents, because if both of them were innocents, row 4 would have 3 innocents and that would make row 2 have to have 3 innocents, but that's impossible. There's only one person left in row 2 who could be a second and last innocent. So we know that Sarah and Tina are opposites actually. And if they are opposites, we know that they make row 4 have 2 innocents. So Hall has to be the second innocent in row 2. That's good. We don't need Vance's clue anymore. Now, we also don't need Uma's or Ziad's, and I'm putting tags all over. And odd number of innocents on the edges neighbor Gunny. So Gunny has 5 people on the edges neighboring them. 2 of those are already criminals, so no innocents yet, but they're gonna have 1 innocent here in column A who's either Austin or Joy, and 1 is an odd number. There's only 1 more person neighboring Gunny on the corner, on the edge, who is Chloe, and that person couldn't be an innocent as well, because that would make 2 an even number. So Chloe has to be a criminal, which makes Donna an innocent. And I was a little bit afraid there that I had miscounted the criminals on the edges, but I didn't. Donna now says that there are exactly 2 innocents in between Austin and Uma. 2. So that makes Joy the second innocent, which makes Austin a criminal. And we don't need Donna's clue anymore. Joy says there's an odd number of innocents neighboring Luigi. Luigi has 3 innocents neighboring him so far, but he's gonna have 1 more for sure on the edge here in column D, who's either Mary or Tina, and that's 4. 4, an even number, so we need 5, which makes Sarah an innocent as well. Just double checking that we're talking about innocents. Tina now is a criminal, which makes Mary an innocent. And Mary says that 1 innocent in column B has an innocent directly to the right of them. There's only 1 innocent in column B, so that has to be the innocent with an innocent to their right. And we are done with this one. Very good. Took me a lot longer to figure Uma out, but I think I should have gotten that first. I wasn't really thinking about the total instance, the total criminals on the edges, because we had so many people who weren't revealed. I think I got caught up with Austin. The first thing I said when I remembered that Austin and the other person were opposites is that Austin would complicate the criminal count for row 1. Maybe that's what led me to think that all criminals in row 1 were connected. I don't know, it's very interesting seeing how we might confuse the clues the more they come, the more they open in a way that we should put several things together to complete the puzzle, the more the potential for us to be confused. And it's very interesting seeing this every day. That's why I really enjoy doing these and talking out loud with my whole logic being put together, because you can also learn how to sort of enumerate things in your mind, or maybe do it all loud is a good exercise. I do recommend. See if it works for you. I'm gonna leave you here for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know how it went for you. And if you thought it was tricky, if you're into the 30% that got a perfect solve like me, see you tomorrow. Bye bye.